trust your first response.
Just ahead on Eyewitness News, you heard President Clinton's health care plan.
But what does it all mean to your pocketbook? Tonight, we'll break down the president's proposal and tell you what it will cost, and we'll hear what Minnesotans think after finally hearing the long-awaited plan.
Plus more clues in the death of an infant found in the Mississippi River. The news is next.
The Clinton health care plan could mean real change for you. Thursday, the president will be with Ted Koppel live, answering Americans' questions about how the plan will affect them and you. A primetime Nightline, Thursday at 10, 9 Central.
Next, on Moon Over Miami.
Her name is Emily Baldwin. I want you to help me find her.
Well, my heart is all aquiver, but we do have a small problem.
Well, tell Jeremy I don't want to see him, ever.
Have you ever loved someone so much that life seemed unimaginable without them?
You should have seen the way that they looked at each other. It was so beautiful. It was like time stood still.
True love. It'll never last. Life's too complicated.
Love is a trickster.
Love sucks.
Hello, this is Randy Meyer. What would it take to get you to shop downtown? What is Minneapolis doing to attract you? Tonight at 10 on Channel 5.
Last night, 31 million Americans made the premiere of NYPD Blue a success. Next Tuesday on ABC, the show America is Talking About returns. Watch NYPD Blue and decide for yourself.
American Broadcasting Company, ABC.
It will affect you whether you like it or not. Details on the new health care plan next.
Welcome to the adventure of Once Upon a Forest on video.
Stupendous!
A world where three unlikely heroes are racing against time to rescue their friend.
Let's go!
One is totally brave.
Abigail.
One is incredibly smart.
Edgar.
And one is unbelievably hungry. And for a special surprise...
Oh, I love surprises.
Get a free Edgar the Mole plush toy. Send proof of purchase and $2.95 for shipping. Once Upon a Forest.
Things are moving pretty well out there on the freeway. You call this
Sleep
a
well?
rush hour? Look, after the clouds clear out,
You took my pillow again.
I did?
You always take my pillow.
I'm sorry. I was asleep.
Dayton's 2-for-1 pillow sale. A wide assortment, all specially priced. Because you can never have too many pillows.
Is it that important to you?
I just want my pillow.
The Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme Special Edition is the best car value in America. For only $15,995, you get a V6, automatic, air, stereo cassette, cruise, power windows, and much more. A 4-cylinder Accord costs $2,000 more. A Taurus costs $3,000 more, and a Camry costs $4,000 more. The Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme Special Edition. It's the best car value in America. At $15,995, the money you save will be your own. See your participating Oldsmobile dealer today.
And now, here are tonight's winning Powerball numbers. This is KSTP TV, St. Paul, Minneapolis. Straight ahead on Channel 5's Eyewitness News at 10.
Find out why the Minnesota Twins may find a new home outdoors.
Tonight's top story.
What does the president's health plan mean to you and your wallet?
Plus,
is all this enough to make you do your shopping downtown?
Stay tuned.
Police find their suspect from this Halloween night murder.
Now, Eyewitness News.
Our top story tonight is one that will affect you, your family, and your job, no matter who you are.
It is the president's plan to provide health care coverage for every American. Tonight, the president went to Congress and to the people trying to sell that plan. Although he still didn't provide all the long-awaited details, we have complete coverage of what was revealed of that plan and how the country and Minnesota are reacting. In just a moment, we'll take you live to Washington, where our Kerry Miller has reaction from Minnesota lawmakers. From Tom Hauser, live in the Control Center, we'll run down what we know is in the plan and how it affects you. And from a Twin Cities business tonight, Michael Gargiulo has a reaction to the plan from those who helped design it and those affected by it. We begin with what's in the plan from Tom Hauser. Tom?
Randy, the Clinton health plan represents the biggest, boldest domestic policy proposal since Social Security.
And like Social Security, the health plan would affect every single American. And tonight, President Clinton made his sales pitch to the nation.
This health care system of ours is badly broken, and it is time to fix it.
President Clinton addressed Americans on two issues important to all of us: our health and our pocketbooks. And he tried to make it clear why he thinks the present health care system needs an overhaul.
Our competitiveness, our whole economy, the integrity of the way the government works, and ultimately our living standards depend upon our ability to achieve savings without harming the quality of health care.
Here are some of the key pieces of the plan. Every American citizen would be covered by health insurance. For most Americans, 80% of the cost would be paid by their employers. According to White House estimates, an individual share would be $360 a year through payroll deductions. A family of four would pay $840. For that money, every American would receive health security cards entitling them to a broad package of benefits.
This card will give comprehensive coverage. It will cover people for hospital care, doctor visits, emergency and lab services, diagnostic services like pap smears and mammograms and cholesterol tests.
The health plan would be administered by so-called health alliances set up in each state, which would shop for the lowest cost medical services available. The alliances would protect consumers against catastrophic medical expenses, capping out-of-pocket costs at $1,500 a year for individuals and $3,000 a year for families. It may sound too good to be true, but President Clinton says it can be done.
We have to change our ways if we ever really want to be healthy as a people and have an affordable health care system, and no one can deny that.
Now, the president says unemployed people would also be covered. Their costs would be paid for in part by new taxes on tobacco and possibly liquor. And one final note on the president's speech, the president even took a moment to applaud the efforts of the Mayo Clinic in Rochester for its efforts to contain health care costs. Now, the president's speech, of course, was of great interest to all Minnesotans. Michael Gargiulo joins us now to tell us more about some local reaction. Mike?
Well, Tom, one of the first things the president did tonight was to use the example of a small business having trouble controlling health care costs. No doubt he did that because it's been small business owners like the people who own shops here along Grand Avenue in St. Paul who have been most concerned about where the burden of health care reform will fall. Well, tonight we watched the address with two small business owners, and they still want to know what exactly this is going to cost them. Even before the president announced his plan, Steve Shipley was preparing to offer health insurance to the 5 employees of his business, the Popcorn Place. Still, he worries about the effect the plan will have on small enterprises.
I do get concerned that my cost for employees keeps going up, and it will influence my decision somewhat, I think, in hiring employees.
Mark Chapman has 6 part-time employees at his computer store. He says being required to pay even a portion of their insurance costs would be disastrous.
To insure employees that have 10 hours time, I mean, my overhead would go through the roof.
Tonight, Steve listened to the president while at work, while Mark watched at home.
There's a lot of generalities he's talking about, which is typical for a political speech.
My concern isn't so much with the plan as it is how both the public and Congress is going to get behind it and if they're going to support it or water it down.
Meanwhile, some of the experts who helped formulate the plan listened to the address at the Hennepin County Medical Center.
One of the things the Clinton plan will do will stabilize the cost and, in fact, reduce the cost for many small employees because they won't be rated as a small employee. They'll be part of a very large group.
Now, Steve Shipley did some quick guesstimates for us, and he figured on spending between $8,000 and $10,000 to insure his employees for a year. He says under the Clinton plan, as he understands it at this point, that cost would actually go down because of the cap given and the subsidies given to small business owners. But still, the small business owners we talked to saying they're hearing the generalities and they really can't judge the plan until they know the specifics. Reporting live from St. Paul, Michael Gargiulo, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
Thank you much, Michael. And before his health care plan can affect any of our lives, it has to pass through Congress.
What are Minnesota lawmakers saying after hearing the plan for the first time? Our Carrie Miller joins us live from Washington with their first reaction. Carrie, what are they saying?
Angela, Minnesota lawmakers are saying a lot. You heard the president talk about putting aside partisan bickering, but you know, the reaction from the Minnesota delegation pretty much falls along partisan lines. Here's what some of them had to tell us tonight.
Yeah, I think it's an historic occasion that this is happening at all.
I think the leadership from the President, from Mrs. Clinton, from the White House generally has been very, very important. The message tonight obviously will touch a lot of Americans. It's not going to explain everything that they need to have explained to them.
Well, this is a bureaucratic nightmare in the making. The answer to health care reform is not 50,000 Washington bureaucrats. There are some good aspects of the plan, some cost containment, but I'm very concerned about the funding mechanism. Putting 80% of the costs on small businesses is going to literally break the back of the job creators in this country.
The situation today is in crisis, and I hope that as we look back that we'll recognize that this is one of the turning points in terms of meeting the health needs of the American people.
People are experts at the failing of this, and they know we need to change, and I think they can give us a lot of good advice.
Now, Senator Durenberger went out on a limb for me. He said he thinks they will have some form of a health package by October of 1994. Senator Wellstone said he wants to hear from Minnesotans. He wants Minnesotans to call his office and tell them what they want. We'll be gauging reaction tomorrow from here in Washington to report back to you on what people are saying. Back to you.
All right.
Thanks, Carrie. Turning now to other news of the night here in the Twin Cities. Funeral arrangements are being made for an unidentified infant found dead 4.5 months ago. The newborn female was found in May in Minneapolis. The body was discovered along the shore of the Mississippi River north of Plymouth Avenue Bridge. Tonight, the medical examiner has not determined the cause or manner of death, but tests on the infant's body show the mother used cocaine.
Minnesota police have finally ended a year-long search for a murder suspect. It's a search that ended in Dallas, Texas. That's where police finally caught up to Otha Eric Townsend. Townsend, who's 24 years old, is wanted for the October 1992 shooting death of a St. Paul woman. 2 women were shot at this home on that Halloween night. One victim later died. Townsend is charged with murder, attempted murder, and flight to avoid prosecution. He's being held in a Dallas jail until he can be extradited back to Minnesota.
There is big news tonight for the city of Minneapolis, and it is big news if you like going to baseball games.
It's a proposal that will give the Minnesota Twins a new home, one without a roof. Our Rob Lear explained what's in the plan and how it came about.
This task force of public policymakers began meeting 2 months ago to analyze what to do with the Met Center in Bloomington. But tonight, before their weekly session adjourned, the sports facility their chairman Robert Vanasek had his committee talking and debating about looked more like this. Camden Yards, a new outdoor ballpark in Baltimore.
Well, I've always believed in taking advantage of opportunities when they might arise, and I see that we might be in that kind of a time frame where there is an opportunity to perhaps bring back open-air baseball to Minnesota.
Vanasek's surprising recommendation to build a new ballpark, he told the commission, could work like this. Close the Met Center, demolish the building, and sell the property it sits on and use the proceeds to help finance the construction of a new 45,000-seat open-air stadium and build the park right here on either the east or west side of the Metrodome. Sound ambitious?
It's going to take some analysis. I haven't had enough time to think about it or see how it fits in.
Vanasek's recommendation to build an outdoor ballpark on this site is big and bold, but that's why the chairman says he challenged his committee to dare to dream. I'm Rob Lear, Channel 5 Eyewitness News, Minneapolis.
And Twins President Jerry Bell told Vanasek he likes the idea of an open-air stadium, but he wants to know more about it. The Twins have the option to end their contract with the Metrodome in 1998. Well, they're calling it the worst disaster in Amtrak history.
And tonight, the situation isn't getting any better.
Coming up next on Channel 5's Eyewitness News.
Why Mother Nature is keeping them from cleaning up this deadly wreck.
And
a less than warm reception for a former Nazi prison guard.
Then,
how stable is Russia tonight? We'll have the latest.
Plus,
why are Toronto's fans saying thanks to the Minnesota Twins?
Stay tuned.
Once you get a good thing going, why not keep on rolling? And the best way to keep things rolling
is to